Would you please welcome Andrew Farriss? Great to see you again. It's great to see you in the hat as well. I love it. Congrats on the new track as well, Something Stronger.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about it. It's got a bit of a yearning for the old days of youth.
Right. Something Stronger is one of the songs that's going to be on my new album, The Prospector, which is why it's not so much about Napoleon. it's more about, searching for things.
Yeah.
OK? And a lot of my album and the songs on it are about looking for things, And Something Stronger is about youth. Well, at least for me, when I was growing up, what I was doing in the pubs and all that, it was pretty wild in the 70s, and the culture of those pub days and that sort of thing were pretty intense. You had people smoking cigarettes, they were drunk, air conditioning was turned off because it made people drink more beer. All that, and places were packed. I mean, those pub years were like that, and I co-wrote Something Stronger with one of our country music royalty, Laurie Minson. And Laurie, like me, is a utility guy, and he plays multiple instruments. And we co-wrote the song about experiences of what it was like in the youth culture for us in the 70s and early 80s. He in the country music scene, me in the sort of rock funk side of it.
Country's having a real moment right now. Like, Beyonce's doing a track, Post Malone's going to be releasing an album, you're doing it.
Saw that.
Yeah, why do you think it's such an obsession right now?
They're obviously all copying Andrew.
Yeah.
Correct, of course.
Trendsetter. Of course.
Yes, naturally.
I think that because country music's damn good.
Yeah.
And I think the songwriting part of it is still intact. I think that the blending of music genres, I think that's cool anyway. I think that music has always done that. It's always progressed, from somewhere and gone somewhere. And we're just seeing something else again. And I think it's fascinating that Post Malone and Beyonce, are coming into that world. I think it's amazing.
Because you're not just doing the music, you sort of live the country life. You live on a farm near Tamworth. How does the country life compare to, like, your touring rock and roll days with NXS?
That's interesting. Yeah, I was just literally talking to someone outside the studio about country life. For 32 years I've had a cattle and grains property in the Tamworth area. And when it rains, cattle and grains when it rains.
Sure.
And that culture of people out in the bush. Now, I've also lived in our amazing cities in Australia and our suburbs. At one point or other in my life, I've lived overseas as well. I worked in over 50 countries at one point with NXS. And, but what I see in the country is when people are hurting, like, say, the communities in the small country towns, they hurt too, and we don't see that in the big cities. We tend to not think about that. We think about our city lives and what our problems are in the cities. But for the people out in the bush, they can really, really struggle, and they need support,
Just a clarifying question.
Sure.
Is this your actual farming get-up?
No, this is actually. I'll put like that.
It's so versatile.
That's the lighting guys are screaming, though.
The prospectors, did they actually flip the front of the hat up?
Well, mate, they might have had a pan, they might have a pick, and they put the rock in there and they're swishing it around, looking for the gold in the water or whatever,
Right.
And if they've got this thing in front of them, they can't see.
So it was a shade issue?
Of course.
So
and
they
also,
flipped the
they didn't have skin, products.
Okay.
Have you struck gold with this new album?
I hope so. Yeah, I'm still digging.
Get that pan out.
Well, it is fantastic. Would you please put your hands together for the one and only Andrew Farriss? The new track is called Something Stronger. It's out now. And it's out there.